second. Hi, welcome back to Streamline Entertainment. It's Marvin speaking, and I'm with the only one and my partner in crime, Ali. How you doing, Ali?
Oh, hi there, Marvin. Hi there, everybody. I'm fine today, thank you.
That's absolutely wonderful. We've got a few things that we want to talk about and discuss with our YouTube family. And it's about the Coroner's Information Centre, which we were discussing earlier, Ali. What can you tell us about that? First of all, the Information Centre and who you talk to.
Yeah, I
Thank
talked
you.
to Alison from the Coroner's Information Centre,
Okay.
and she was really helpful. That was after spending nearly all morning going around the houses trying to speak to different coroner's offices, because I was told it wasn't Preston, it was Manchester. Of course, Manchester have got several offices, including Rochdale, which I went through to. And as I say, I think I spoke to, well, I didn't speak to them all because some of them just don't have the staff on. And I ended up speaking to this lovely Alison,
Okay.
who is from the Coroner's Information Officer.
Hmm.
And she said, no, she said, you won't get hold of them because the coroners are funded by councils. Councils got no money, and therefore they're shutting shops.
Wow.
So you can't get a lot of information. But Alison did give me some really good information.
That's good to hear.
Everything.
And I mean, did she know anything about the Jay Slater case? I know you obviously can't go into detail.
Yeah,
Because
she did. I mean,
yeah,
they do know, obviously, because, they're
it
based up that way.
yeah, and it's such a big case as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's a four-step process to inquests, and we had the initial inquiry back on the 12th of August this year,
Okay.
and it was immediately adjourned because, of course, they had to get details from Spain, and the body had been repatriated, and there was a lot of paperwork and everything else to see to. So then that was put on hold, and
Is that do you know put on hold? That's ever since that August date.
yeah,
Wow.
it's adjourned.
Yeah.
They call it adjournment.
Okay.
I've got to get the right words
Turn.
out this evening if I can. I don't
That's
know what's up with me
okay.
today.
That's
I'm
okay.
sure.
Look, we've both had a busy Monday today. Do you know what I mean? So
God,
we'll
yeah.
we'll let each other off, Ali.
Well, I just couldn't understand why nobody was picking up the phone, and then it was, I'm in the queue, number 24, and I thought, flipping Henry, or words to that effect. 24, how many hours am I going to be stuck on the phone? Anyway, I did get hold of this lovely lady, Alison, and she put me right. She said there's a four-step process to all inquests, and that nothing at all is listed. And she went through every single one. She went through Manchester, Greater Manchester, Rochdale, Lancashire, Preston, everything. And it is not listed in the foreseeable future. And I said to her, why is that? She said, well, there's one or two reasons. They haven't, first of all, put in a Rule 23 that she can see. Now, the Rule 23 is that they would accept all the evidence from Spain and just write it off. But they haven't done that.
Would that,
So
Ali? Sorry, just a quick question. Would that have happened kind of quickly if it was a Rule 23? Do you think if it was that straightforward? What do you think about that?
Well, I don't know what I think anymore, to be honest in this case.
Yeah.
I mean, Alison said to me, we're on first name terms, as you can gather.
Lovely.
She said to me, it hasn't got a Rule 23 on it. And I said,
Wow.
what does that mean? She said that it will be an inquest. It will go further. They are probably looking at other evidence from Spain and to them, and over here. So that is what I've taken from it. But there is nothing scheduled for an inquest.
At this present moment.
At this present, well, as of about 4 o'clock this afternoon.
Wow. Basically, what Alison, I know Alison can't tell us everything, but she thinks that there's possibly further investigations going on, and this is
Yeah,
why
she
it's not
does.
made known to
Yeah,
the public
yeah,
at the moment.
yeah. And of course, she knows Dr. James Adderley, who is obviously the coroner,
Okay.
and he will obviously be versed with it. And she's seen his list, and there is nothing there. So, I've got to go with what she said. I mean, I went through all the lists over the weekend and couldn't find it anyway. And then somebody said, it's listed at Manchester. So I went through Rochdale, Manchester, Greater Manchester. I've been all over the country, really. A grand tour.
I hope you wasn't driving round, Ali.
I hate to think what my telephone bill will be. Anyway, no, there's nothing. So as far as we're concerned, nothing is listed.
Wow.
And there is no Rule 23 in place as yet.
So I am crossing my fingers, Ali, that they're digging deeper into this case and they're not happy about something. I really do hope, fingers crossed, but because I'm sure, the police must know there's still a lot of people know that this case, we don't believe he just fell, off a cliff. And there's so much suspicion still around this case that we really need something to come through now.
Well, and also the drug scene. I think that's so big in this. I know there's the Tom Hilton link.
Yes. It's started to come.
But that is more information that I've found out today as well, which has surprised me. The basis of it is they want to clamp down on all this drug and human trafficking. And I just think that that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to clean it all up.
In Tenerife?
I think all over the world, to be honest. It goes on everywhere, doesn't it?
It's a big shock to the systems, Ali, some of the things that I thought went on in Tenerife. Due to the Jay Snader case, which I didn't even know about. I was quite blind to it, to be honest with you. And some of it is just unbelievable what some of these drugs can do.
Well, we've learnt a new word today as well, haven't we? Snapchat pills.
Yes, yeah. Can you explain, Ali, what they are?
Yes, the reporter Ed Southgate. Now, I don't know if he's related to the great Gareth Southgate. Pass on that one.
Possible.
But he is a reporter. He's a bona fide reporter. And his sidekick, Ian Whitaker, who is the cameraman, they actually attended the Ibiza rave, which was just after the Tenerife one.
Okay.
Just to do some groundwork and see what actually goes on at these raves. And he's come back to say that he went to Tenerife, went to Ibiza after the Tenerife thing, just to see what the drug scene was like and whether or not it was as bad as people thought. So it was a fact-finding thing.
Okay.
He was 20 minutes into going inside the door, and he was offered MDMA.
Wow.
He was offered all types of drugs, from cocaine to heroin, and pills, which are called Snapchat pills. Snapchat.
Pills.
Sorry, I've got to get it right.
Yeah.
Snapchat pills.
I've never ever heard of them.
Hallucination pills.
Jesus.
And they're much cheaper, but they're not really regulated.
Oh my God.
Yeah, well, I don't know much about them. We might have to look that all up.
I'm just wondering, would it be something like, because they used to be called like LSD, basically, tablets back in the day.
Maybe somebody in chat might know what they are. I mean, I can ask one of my medical friends. But they cost between, he said he was offered £5 to £15 worth for the night.
My God.
But he didn't take anything. That's all I've had from Ed. But I mean, that was interesting in itself.
That's just so mad. That is just absolutely just crazy. But surely, Ali, it will eventually start affecting people's sort of mental health and well-being if youngsters keep taking these drugs or start to get addicted to them. I just don't think there's any,
Well,
any good in them. Do you know what I mean? Let alone
well,
cocaine.
well, I mean, cocaine's what, nearly £5,000 for a bar of cocaine, apparently, if you can call it a bar. I've never seen one, so I
Yeah, yeah.
can't really say on that.
Hmm.
But yes, I would think the nervous system would be greatly affected. If you look at your body, and when I was doing my medical stuff, it was look at the body as if it was a house. You've got your electricity, your
Hmm.
wiring, you've got um, your in you put your food through your mouth and that becomes energy and it goes out the other end, and you've got all those kind of systems, and I would think it would greatly affect your stomach and your nervous system more than anything else, I would think,
Wow.
over time.
Yeah.
I mean, and you don't know what is in these drugs and
Mm.
how they're put together. I mean,
Mm.
they don't come with a date stamp, I wouldn't think, or the year or the person that manufactured it.
Correct.
Not like you might go in and to the supermarket and pick up, I don't know, some cheese or something,
Hmm.
and see, oh well, that was made by such and such a farm, and the date stamp on it and a barcode on it. But you wouldn't get that with pills, I shouldn't think. These pills they're just passed over.
It's kind of funny, Ali, when you said that a lot of young people seem to be dying, and I'm just wondering whether it's sort of drug related as well, and the sort of the
Oh,
drugs we were actually talking about, and especially with inquests on young people. It's just unbelievable these days. For some reason, especially up north in the area Jay was from.
yeah, I mean, it goes on everywhere. I can't begin to tell you. I mean, you see it in all the major, it's rife everywhere, I think, and just don't probably see it right on your doorstep sometimes, but I'm sure it goes on because there's a lot of money to be made in it. Maybe these Snapchat pills are cheaper,
Mm.
but they're also cheaper to produce. Do you see what I mean? So
Yes.
they can get them on them first of all, and then after having a couple of weeks on them, they might then graduate to cocaine and heroin and
Hmm.
what have you, which doesn't bear thinking about, really.
Hmm. Yeah, I totally agree. Right, this Ed Southgate. What else did he have to say, Ali? Because he seems
I
like
think
an
that's
interesting
about it.
reporter.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think that's about it. He said that his camera guy has got a really good photograph of Jay, not from Ibiza but from Tenerife. I haven't seen it, so I can't really say. But he's offered it if we want it, so I can get back to him if need be.
Yeah, and we're just looking for some more information, aren't we, on this UK Grilly, is it? Music official?
Sorry?
Do you remember the VIP, the
Oh yes, yes,
6 foot
yes.
guy, bulky black
Yes,
guy we
I've
were
got
looking into?
details of the VIP mystery man.
Right, this is interesting, but we think he's sort of a drill goer into drill music, quite a stocky guy.
Yeah, I picked
Yeah.
up on it because the description of him is quite good, and I
Okay.
thought, well, somebody must have seen him. And the thing is, he drinks £200 bottles of Hennessy, so he's obviously got some cash,
Yeah.
and he's about 6 foot, of a stocky build.
Mhm. Mhm.
He's obviously male and he's black.
And he's possibly a friend of Aob's and Potter's.
He was seen with
Yeah.
Ayob. Yes, he was seen with Ayob in Tenerife.
Right.
He didn't have any festival ticket, and he did have a bright orange wristband on.
Wow. Hmm.
He is possibly from a foreign country, I was told. But what country, I don't know.
Right. Yeah, it's going to be interesting because, like I said, I'm going to go through some of the people that I move with, just in case that something does pop up that fits this guy's description. What else have we got coming up, Ali? Basically, a bit more on Tom Hilton. Hopefully, you've got people
I've
you're
got quite
talking
a
to.
lot on Tom Hilton, actually, which he's no angel either, is he?
No, he's not. I've read up a bit about him, and
Mm.
basically, that car chase he had from the police where he could have killed people and was driving at stupid speeds. To be honest with you, do you know
Or
what I mean?
70 miles an hour in a 50 and also a 30-mile-an-hour speed limit. He nicked a car, and he gave the police a lot of hassle afterwards, apparently. Yeah, and he did actually. He was convicted for 14 months
Wow, wow.
and lost his license and told that he has to retake his test. Now, whether he's done that since, I don't know. I have got the details.
You would have thought, you would have thought, Ali, if he says, "Look, I was never in Tenerife," you would prove it, wouldn't you? You would say, "Look, this is what I've done. This is my timeline. I was never in Tenerife when Jay was there." But like I said, we've had nothing like that. Do you know what I mean? And he's just been sitting back saying no, 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 and not really committing himself.
Well, he broke into a property and the guy disturbed him but got him on CCTV and phoned the police. And the police actually then found he'd just nicked another car. So we've got details of that,
Wow.
which happened in Clayton Lee Moors, which is in East Lancashire, I believe. So we've got all the details of that. He got 14 months inside anyway. Whether he actually served the 14 months, I don't know.
Yeah, you would have thought he would like learn something from it, but it doesn't look like he has to me. To be honest with you, I think once a terrier, always a terrier.
Well, I didn't know anything about him, to be honest with you, until this last bit of lockdown. As I say, I've got a couple more people that are ringing me later this week with some more information. Not necessarily on him.
No, but more on Tenerife, should I say?
More on Tenerife and also on the other guys that were charged with Jay over the Tom Hilton incident.
Yes, because like I said, a few of them have passed now that were actually involved, which is kind of odd.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, we've got some very scared people around, I'm afraid.
Yes, yeah, I can truly believe that. Because like I said, when we were going to do that, the live, a lot of people said basically that they would come out and do like voice information, and they didn't because of fear, and they admitted it. And I said, look, there's nothing you can do, and sometimes when that happens, you have to change your narrative and go elsewhere. At the end of the day, yes, you might cop it, but you've also got to be protecting people as well, Ali. Do you know?
Yeah, I mean, there is a link between Tom and somebody else, but I need to check that one out. And that information has been sent to us. But I don't want to say anything on air until I've checked it out, because it might be nothing.
Yeah.
Peter Hyatt, if everybody remembers Peter, a body language guy. He's really good.
I've looked into Peter. He's brilliant. He was on a few cases, a few sort of massive cases. He's been going a while, isn't he? Good 20 odd years.
Oh yes, yeah. I mean, he's got fantastic credentials, actually. Lucy, he has done a little snapshot of her that she is withholding information. She's smart, but she's manipulative. So that might give us some idea. I mean, I don't think there's anything new in that, really.
Yeah. No, I believe you 100%. at the end of the day, and what he says, because like I said, he's quite articulate in the way that he looks at cases, and I'm glad that he looked at Lucy. But I wish he sort of done a few other people as well, like Rachel Hargreaves or Luggy or Chris. That would have been brilliant.
Well, we might be able to help him. I mean, I have got his details, so I can...
But I heard he's not well at the moment.
Oh, really? I don't know. But, I mean, I have got contact details, so I could maybe just slip a note and say, how are you? And see if he is okay, or if he isn't, then we can just leave alone. But I don't think it's going to get that far. I think there's... I'm just intrigued to know this mystery man, so if somebody knows anything about him. He likes Hennessy at £200 a bottle, so that might just narrow it down, because I don't know many people that would go out and buy a bottle of Hennessy and drink it every week. Do you?
Yeah, no, it's no, not at all. You've got to have some serious money coming in to keep doing that. And like I said, but it seems like to me that this guy moves with the big players like Potter Paper and stuff at the end of the day. But there may be nothing in it, but like I said, but I do think it's worth Ali having a look who this artist is, or someone who moves around in that circle.
Well, we've got about 6 names, and I'll check them out.
Sure.
But I can't say on here who they are at the moment, because I haven't checked them.
See which one fits the bill.
Well, you've got to check it a bit more than that. I mean, it's no good me looking at kind of 5-foot guys, scrawny hair, and don't like drink, is it? That doesn't fit the bill.
5'3".
Well, exactly. Yeah. So, I mean, we're looking for a stocky chap. It's stocky. So,
do you know something, Ali? My daughter measured me over like a 4-year period, and I'm sure at one stage I was like 5'11", and she...
You didn't stay still for the whole 4 years, did you, while she measured you?
I did. Not for the whole 4 years, but like I said, it was in like I said, 4 years ago, and then again. And she says to me, "Dad, you've shrunk. You're only like 5'10" now. Is that true? The older you get, you shrink."
Yes, that's true. Absolutely true. I'm 2.5 inches smaller than I used to be in height.
Yeah.
You shrink over the years. You do shrink. Yeah. Either that, or you must be washing too much.
Yeah.
My grandson thinks that's probably the best bet. He mustn't wash, otherwise he'll shrink.
I can't. I just hope I don't end up at 5'5".
No, that wouldn't do, would it?
No, it wouldn't.
I mean, a bit like Ayob with his podcast coming out. I thought about the knitting scene, we could kind of, all of us in chat there, would like to take up knitting and knit him a few pink fluffy hats. Then, as he wants to put himself on the map, he could do a film in his pink fluffy hats, couldn't he?
No, because he'll enter someone. Ali made them for me and go out and sell them and make a bomb on them. We don't want that.
Well, we do, because then with that money we could either put it into a good charity for missing people, which I'd first of all say I would give to.
Yeah.
Or we could pay for Ayob to go to keep fit classes and get really fit, so he looks the part, doesn't he? And we could pay for him to go to a gym. He ought to go to a gym, because Lynn said to me the other day, he looks a bit unfit. We ought to get him fitter, actually. If he wants to put himself on the map and he's going to be a film star or something, we ought to contribute to that, didn't we?
Definitely. On a serious note, Ali, what do you think this interview will go? Because like I said, it's said to be, and the guy who's actually interviewing him was in prison with him before this other YouTube.
Nothing new then. It depends on the questions. Hopefully the public have had an input into the kind of questions that are being asked.
I just got a funny feeling they've been hand-picked, though, Ali. I really do.
Oh, I see. Oh, I didn't know that.
I just think so.
No, I would think, if you're going to have a level playing field, then it could be what the listener or the viewer actually puts in. It's not just somebody that's got a YouTube channel or something deciding what questions to ask, because I expect then we're not in for anything that's revealing.
I didn't, to be honest. The guy, the channel, basically who's promoting it, I just didn't have much faith in him because he said it was really good. It's really good, but it seems like to me he's trying to sell it, and it just seems a load of bull to me.
Oh, well, let's give him a chance. We can only watch with interest, can't we?
Yes, for sure.
And see if he's wearing a pink fluffy.
Right, Ali. I think
I've got to have a sense of humour with this, because some of it is really dark and miserable, and
yes,
we mustn't forget that. You know, but we have got to have, to cope with anything in life. You've got to have you've got to be able to kind of smile afterwards, you know.
Yeah, for sure. Ali, thank you very much for having you. This is only a 20-25 minute one. Thank you all. If we've got, myself and Ali's got some more information, we'll definitely put it straight out there. Once again, Ali, thank you for your hard work.
Oh, that's fine. Thank you, Marvin. Well, thank you for speaking to me. We are having a little conflab with a couple of people later in the week, so I might have some more news. Don't forget, people, if you can think of somebody of the description, the mystery man, that would be really helpful. And I've narrowed it down to the guy in the blue. I've narrowed it down to 2 DJs, so we might be able to go along with that. And thank you again, the people in chat who've absolutely supplied the information for that. Thank you.
Fabulous. Thanks very much, Ali. And thank you, people. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Any questions for myself and Ali, just please leave it in the chat. Thank you very much indeed, people.